I know I need to size up with you, and when I defang the Viper, trust me, ain't gonna come from nowhere. Jeff, I already put you out. I don't even know why you're out here right now. Keep on talking. Hey, do me a favor. Why don't you act like this is an AA meeting and you shut your mouth while I'm sharing with the group? And Mustafa, you out here, a boy among men. And I'm gonna tell you what, you got lucky at the Rumble, so I know you're gonna come out here and run your mouth about how bad you are. But let me give you a little bit of a reality check. You see, Mustafa, you said that my eyes don't lie. Well, your eyes don't lie either, because last week, they were closed real tight when I put your simple ass to sleep. And AJ, hey man, be honest with me. How's our old girl Wendy doing?
Welcome back to the Clark Street Wrestling Podcast. It's me, Hafeez. With me as always, Devin. And we have a special guest with us today, Kwame Shakir, writer from Blurred Online. Thank you for being with us, Kwame. We're looking forward to talking to you about all things wrestling, and all sorts of other things, man. I know we're going to get into some Power Rangers talk here in a little bit, too. So definitely looking forward to talking to you about that. We actually kind of started before we started recording, and we're like, oh, man, we're getting some good stuff here. Let's pause, let's hit record, and then we'll jump back into it, man. So, Kwame, without further ado, man, just start back from the beginning what you were talking about, because with basically Power Rangers helped you through some difficult times, you were saying. So why don't you just go ahead and just jump straight into that?
Man, when I started watching the Power Rangers, through that difficult period, man, like when I saw like the OG Black Ranger played by Walter Jones, I've actually met him in person, by the way. Like when I saw him, I was like, I saw myself in him. Man, I'm like, wow, this is really cool. And then to see these 5 or 6 Rangers just go in there, kick ass and take names, that put a smile on my face, man. I'm like, this is such good shit. And so yeah,
that's
I
awesome,
absolutely love that show. And then after the show ended, like I said earlier, I moved on to other things. I did some sports in elementary school. I did tug of war and kickball and flat football, 2-hand touch, and even dodgeball. And then when I was 12, I started to flip through the channels one night, and I found nothing interesting until I turned it to TNT, ironically, which was the home of Nitro at the time. When I started watching Nitro, I'm like, man, this wrestling stuff is pretty good. So after I watched that entire episode, I'm like, damn, I absolutely fell in love with wrestling after that. And so that's pretty much how that came about.
Yeah, man. I feel like so the time period, I feel like we all kind of probably came from around the same time period, because for me too, like I remember Power Rangers, VR Troopers, and shows like that were real big. Dude, man.
Don't get me started, bro. Don't get me started, bro.
Oh my goodness, man, those Saturday morning kids shows, especially those cartoons, oh my God, they were something special. Like you had X-Men, you had the OG Turtles, you had G.I. Joe, you had Thundercats, all that.
Yeah, man. It was a fun time, and I mean,
my goodness,
what? It's interesting because for a long time there, I was kind of sad for kids these days that didn't have Saturday morning cartoons anymore. I felt like, oh man, it kind of sucks. But now we're getting a lot of like the comics that the characters that we grew up with, but now they've got movies and like all these other things going on too. I mean, look at Marvel, with their big the MCU and what they're doing. It's like, it's a great time to be a fan, to be a comic fan, to be like a nerd in general, for all of this stuff, man. So how do you feel like, coming up at that time with all those cool cartoons and different stories, and now seeing like kind of another, I guess, just explosion of all of this similar content, but just in a different format?
Yeah, man, like this is like the peak for comic book related movies. The MCU, man, like even though not all their movies have been hits, some of their movies have been huge hits, like the Avengers and the first Hulk film and the Iron Man film, and even films like Civil War. Those films right there were hits, and so Marvel Cinematic Universe is a big multi-billion-dollar industry. It's crazy.
Yeah. Dude, it's wild, man. I'm a big fan. Did you get a chance to see the Snyder cut for Justice League?
I didn't get to see it yet.
Ooh, okay. You saw the
But
original the
I
Justice
haven't
League
seen
movie?
the original.
No? Okay.
No, I haven't seen that yet, or I haven't seen the cut, but I'll probably see it sometime later on.
Okay. So, because I guess I won't give you any spoilers, but I will say that that's another one where, with the release of this new Snyder Cut, there's another basically boom of excitement around, comic-related movies now on the DC side, because it's been pretty much well received, the Snyder Cut. So just adding on to what we're saying in general about like just being a fan of all these comic related content, it's a really great time. So yeah, man, it's just left and right. We got all this cool stuff coming, Winter Soldier and Falcons on Disney Plus right now. WandaVision was a big hit. It's just such a fun time, man. But let's talk a little bit about the wrestling side though. So you said you would watch Nitro. So Nitro, was that kind of your first glimpse into wrestling, and like where did it go from there? Like after you watched Nitro, when it came to wrestling, your wrestling fandom.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I started with Nitro, and then after Nitro ended, I started watching Raw, and there was some pretty good wrestling on Raw, but there were also certain things that kind of pissed me off, that kind of pushed me away from wrestling. So I like the racially insensitive angles and stuff like that kind of pissed me off. That kind of pushed me away. So I took a personal 10-year sabbatical from wrestling, and and during that time I was like, I had lost a couple of people that I knew dearly. Lost my grandmother during that 10-year sabbatical period, and then one night I was like, man, there is something missing in my life. I've got to get back what I've missed. So I started watching wrestling again, and when I started watching wrestling again, I was happy once again. Because I was so happy to see wrestling again for the first time in 10 years.
Man, that's awesome. When you got back into it, which one were you watching? Were you watching what year was this around? Like when did you get back in?
This was like 2018, WrestleMania 34.
Okay. So this is recent. Yeah. Wow. Like 2018. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. WrestleMania.
And speaking of WrestleMania, WrestleMania 37 is back with fans this year.
Yeah, dude. I am excited. We're all excited about that.
Not only that, if you look at the match card is probably the most diverse WrestleMania match card that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, hey. I mean, it sounds like you're real excited about this. So talk about that. Like, what are you thinking?
So I like
well, I know that's where we're going. That's where I'm feeling like where we're going. But I want to hear from Kwame, man. Like, speak more on it, man. What is it about this card that's grabbing you?
Man, the one match that I'm most excited for on the card is the Bianca Sasha match. Even though we have to admit the build hasn't been the best, but my intrigue and interest in the match is still pretty high. Because I know these ladies will go out there and kill it in night one. They better main event night one. Main event night one, we riot.
Yeah, man. We'll see. Hopefully, fingers crossed, man. Vince, do the right thing. Devin, man, jump in. Get us some questions in here.
Yeah, man. So just to back up a little bit, because I know you were saying how you got into wrestling when around Nitro. So what was that one match that got you in? And then when you took that break, what was that match that got you back in 2018?
Oh man, the match that really became my personal introduction to professional wrestling was the Goldberg-Hogan match on Nitro. Man, that crowd, when I saw that crowd, I was like, wow, this crowd is fucking electrifying, dude. I'm like, man, I really miss these live crowds. Because these live crowds, in your mind, These live crowds dictate which storyline goes over, which doesn't go over, which wrestler goes over, which wrestler does not go over.
It is the blood
If you
flow.
if you force and shove someone like babyface Roman Reigns down the fans' throat, they're not going to receive that well. And when Roman turned heel last year, it was the best thing that this man's ever done in his entire WWE career, and it's really paid off. I'm really loving the Tribal Chief, man. My God. Man, Roman Reigns, fire.
That's my Tribal
Chief.
Yeah, because he's such good shit.
Oh, man. So you said 2018, what was the one match?
I think, if I recall, I believe it was that abysmal AJ Styles Shinsuke Nakamura match.
Oh.
And then that backlash, the following month, they did the double cross kick. Oh my God, was it awful?
Oh yeah. Gosh, that was 2018.
Oh my God.
Oh man,
it was fucking awful.
The nut shot story, huh?
Yeah, the double nut shot.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Man, I'm like, who booked it? I'm like, man, who booked this shit, man?
Yeah, seriously. Oh man.
I think the best match they had was that Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Out of that rivalry they had was Money in the Bank 2018 Chicago. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. Since both y'all from Chicago.
Yep.
Yeah, we was there.
Yeah, I was at that one. Yep.
It was hot and humid in there.
Yeah. Well, Vince, the rumor is that because Roman's matchup sucked. What was it? Him and who was
I believe it was.
Was it Jinder?
Jinder Mahal.
I think it was him. Him.
That's who it was.
It's funny because him and Jinder Mahal. Yeah, I remember.
So the crowd was chanting all sorts of stuff during that match, man. Stop this match and this match. This match sucks. They like all sorts of
we doing the wave and shit.
Yeah.
Me and my daughter doing this. Like, yeah, let's go.
Oh my God. So the rumor is that like they shut off the AC, while that was going on, or at the end of that matchup, just Vince was pissed off and decided to get at us that way. It's a rumor. Who knows if it's true or not? But I don't know. I could kind of believe that shit because we were having a good time, but at their expense, man. It was hot. It was hot after that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Man, those live crowd experiences. Those live crowd experiences are something special, man. Especially when you watch it on TV.
Yeah. Have you been live to some of the shows?
Oh man, I've never been to a live show. I would love to go to one. Yeah. Because I know for a fact from judging from experience, listening to fans on podcasts and stuff like that, they say, man, the live fan experience is much different than the one on TV.
Oh, it is.
It is. It definitely is. So I'll share with you a story, with Money in the Bank. My first live show was the Money in the Bank pay-per-view where it was John Cena versus CM Punk. And it was supposed to be CM Punk.
2011.
Yeah, right. So CM Punk, he was getting ready to leave the company. He's going against John Cena for the WWE Championship. And, he was supposed to resign, but weren't sure. And, the story behind the scenes was, I think that night he had resigned, but nobody, they didn't tell us that. It was still like CM Punk was going to leave. So during that whole show, like in the pre-show, like before they started recording, like me and my brothers, we got there early, and the crowd was already hot. There were signs up saying, if Cena wins, we will riot. When they would show us videos, like anytime they showed CM Punk, we would cheer like crazy. When they showed John Cena, we would boo like crazy. Like it was nuts. So it was just so much fun. And watching it back, like on the network or something, or things like that, the feeling, you could kind of get it, but it's not as heated and as passionate as it really felt being there. Like literally, it felt like, oh my God, if this doesn't go right, I don't know what's about to happen right now. Because that crowd was nuts. I mean, the Chicago crowd typically is a wild group, man. Like, we're engaged. We will, be loud and chant and be creative with it. Oh, my God. And so, yeah, man, we were giving it to Cena. And CM Punk was supposed to be a heel through this thing. He was a heel in that storyline. But to us, nope, it did not matter. We don't care about your stories. He's from Chicago. We're cheering for our own, and that's it. When CM Punk won, oh my God, it was like everyone was happy. So yeah, man, a lot of crowds. It's fun, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, Chicago crowds are known for being some of the best crowds in the country, so yeah.
Yeah, like the Philly crowds can be kind of crazy too. I know that they can get kind of wild, especially like that. You know what?
Come to think about those Philly crowds, man, the craziest they ever went was when Roman won the 2015 Royal Rumble. When Roman won that match, oh man, the Boo Birds came down. Not even his real life cousin The Rock could save him.
Yeah, even The Rock came out. That shit couldn't save him. They're like, no, we ain't do it. I ain't going. I ain't buying. Even Rock, nah, hell no. Boo this man. Boo this man.
Man, oh my God, the boos was so loud.
Oh my God, I could only imagine. I could only imagine what that would feel like being there for that. Oh my God, because the whole thing, like they did this a couple years in a row where, people wanted Daniel Bryan to be the one to win the Royal Rumble. And then they had Batista end up winning, and Daniel Bryan wasn't even in that one. And remember, Roman Reigns was there with Batista, and they were cheering Roman Reigns. But because we all knew Batista was going to win, so we just instantly were like, nah, we don't want this, like, F this, whatever. So the next year, when it seemed clear, like, they're getting ready to jam Roman Reigns down our throats. We want Daniel Bryan. Right, exactly. Yep. So then, they're doing the same thing over again. And then Daniel Bryan got eliminated, and it was over. Like, man. Roman Reigns, there was nothing that man could do. It wasn't his fault. He's just wrong guy at the wrong time. That's all it was.
Yeah, that was during the peak of Daniel Bryan's babyface run right there.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Dude, man.
They
Go ahead.
And then they had that match at Fastlane that following month, and then they had the match just recently at Fastlane, which I call WWE Filler Lane. Because let's be honest, when you look, because WWE Filler Lane is like an unnecessary gas stop to a rundown gas station where you don't even need to even fill gas up for the car.
True, it was filler. You could just skip it. You'd be all right. If you want the extra content, fine. But you really could just skip it.
The whole call was nothing but filler.
It was filler.
We didn't even do a prediction show for this. It was like, what we doing? It was like,
I'm like, man, forget WWE Filler Lane.
Filler Lane from now on. Filler Lane.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yep.
I like that. It is
that's
exciting.
crazy. But you're right. It is exciting. There you go, Devin. Dude, but you're right. You're right. Watching Fastlane, was just like, man, like what are they doing? Like it's just none of the matches seem to matter, and there were a lot of them were rehashes of matches we had already seen. So it's like, why
1,000 times.
Yeah, we've seen Sheamus and
it's kind of like
Sheamus and Drew. I was like. I was
more
on my phone. I was drifting on my phone and shit. I was like, all right.
Dude, is this over yet? No, okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool,
I already saw how hard they went like the last couple of weeks on Monday Night Raw, so,
Drew beat him, and then they had the no contest and the falls count anywhere, whatever, no DQ match they had. And yeah, you rehashed it again at Filler Lane. Like, come on, man. Like, I just, nah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, and speaking of Monday Night Raw, as much as I'm going to say this, Monday Night Raw is like, man, the worst mainstream wrestling show on TV because of bullshit like the Shane Braun fan. The Shane Braun program is the worst program in WWE right now. Man, with the Nickelodeon goo last week, and then the train noises. Oh my God, the train noises.
Oh yeah. I was like, hold on, what?
I'm like, oh my God, this is awful, but it's funny at the same time.
I was like,
oh my God.
That's how they doing Braun. That's how they repackaging Braun.
This is how they're doing it.
Oh my God.
Thomas the Train looking ass, man. Come on, bro.
Yeah, they're trying to make him a superhero to kids, man.
Yeah.
They're really going out of their way to pander to the lowest common denominator, which is the kid.
Braun Strowman is the new Thomas the Train, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just go in and set it up. That is him. Get the toy ready. Thomas the Train looking Braun Strowman
Oh
too.
my God.
That's what I want.
Dude, man.
And you know
crazy.
what? Come to think about that too, I'm like, why is Shane McMahon weasel his way back on TV? Why is Shane back on TV? Nobody asked for a Shane McMahon match at WrestleMania again. Because let's be honest, nobody benefits from a program with Shane, with the exception of AJ. But aside from him, nobody.
That was AJ making Shane look good though. If anything, that's what I took.
Yeah. No.
But let's be honest, Shane. but let's be honest. Yeah, but Shane's always been what I view as a glorified stuntman. A glorified stuntman of Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
The only move that you get out of him is the coast to coast.
Right.
That's the only move you even see out of him.
He falls off the cage. You know, he's willing to fall off of something tall. Some like with Miz, like him and Miz went off of that. They created that platform and then they went off of it. I don't know, man. I mean, Shane, I feel like he would benefit from, just being in the background more. And if they're going to try to do something with him, like truly make him an authority, like his dad, Vince McMahon, back in the day with him and Stone Cold, they did that right, with Vince being that authority figure that Stone Cold would slap around and, like we could vicariously live through Stone Cold and be like, I wish that, I could be Stone Cold and stand up to my boss like this. So for Shane, it would be kind of cool if they could figure it out to make him the new authority and like have, certain wrestlers like be able to use him as a way to like be that, like have similar storylines to what they did back in the day with Stone Cold. Because the whole stupid, like, come on, man, like what is that doing for Braun? You literally making him look stupid.
Yes. Nobody wants to be like Braun right there.
And not only that, if y'all notice on Shane's promo, it was like he was breathing heavy in the mind. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this segment is downright awful.
Yeah,
that right there just killed the whole segment.
Yeah,
it's kind of like when he comes down to the ring, he's profusely sweating and seems all out of breath.
I mean, for me, it's even less about that and just more about like, we don't. I don't know if you're not gonna just put over some of these other stars and you're gonna actually just make fun of them and make them look worse, then what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's really the point? Because at the end of this, does Braun look better? Does Braun beating Shane McMahon put him in the conversation for the WWE Championship? I mean, right? None of us are going to think that.
and speaking of the WWE title, why is Drew McIntyre getting another WWE title shot? Why?
Well, that makes sense to me. We can.
But go ahead.
But one of my worst fears is that they're going to treat Bobby as a transitional champion to give Drew his WrestleMania moment at the expense of Lashley, which will piss me off.
Yeah. It's, see, the whole transitional champion thing is kind of a tricky thing because Miz definitely, he was a transitional champion. It was clear. Like, he was champion for, like, what, a week? Was it? Like, 1 week he was champion and that was it?
7 days.
Bobby, for me, whenever you do something that's memorable, that I'll remember the fact that Bobby Lashley was champion. I don't know that I'll remember that Miz, won the title in between Drew and Bobby, but I'll remember Bobby. So the fact that it's memorable, that the fact that he won it, and just the impact of that, being a black man to hold the WWE Championship, like for me, I kind of don't. Like automatically, I just won't allow it to be that he has that label of transitional champion. But at the same time, like I do hear what you're saying. Like if he has a short reign, if it's over at WrestleMania, which I don't know, man. I'm going back and forth on that because at first, before that match happened with him and Miz, I said, Drew is going to win the title at Mania because they want Drew to have that reaction from the fans. And then that match happened at Raw, and I was like, man, no. I see Bobby Lashley retaining and giving him a long title reign, and let's go to SummerSlam. But seeing the way they're booking this now, I'm kind of back on, man, I think Drew McIntyre is about to win at WrestleMania. Like, it's unpredictable, man. Like, I don't know. And I guess in a way it's good because to go into Mania knowing what's going to happen, that could be boring too, so keeping us on our toes like this, I feel like it can be a benefit. But hey, I don't know, man. I don't know if Bobby loses that belt. I'll be disappointed. I can't lie. I would be disappointed because he deserves a good lengthy reign. You say the almighty era. It can't be 2 months. It's got to be like a long reign. You can't just 2-month era doesn't sound right. So
no, the almighty era should be like more than 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, give me as long as you can go, man. I mean, like I feel like SummerSlam, if they were to end it there, because there had been rumors about Bobby maybe his career coming to an end. Like he knows it's not forever. He sees his title reign as a sprint. Not like taking it for granted and just kind of going balls to the wall basically. So who knows, but I would love to see him retain and keep it going. But the way they're booking this right now, even him trying to get goons to take Drew McIntyre out, I'm like, you don't need this. You don't need this, man.
Yeah,
Like,
that was not necessary right there.
Right.
To put a hit on
what are
Drew.
you afraid of?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that does kind of make him. That does kind of make him look a little weak by having his goons try to take out Drew.
Yeah, I just
and the way WWE's booking this, I'm thinking the exact same thing. They're clearly gonna take the title off this guy in Mania. They want to give Drew his WrestleMania moment that he was robbed of last year, unfortunately.
Yeah. Kind of see him showing their hand a little bit on that.
Yeah, because WWE, their motto is, let's make the kids happy at the end of WrestleMania by having the baby faces go over.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? If I never watched that Stone Cold podcast that he did with Drew, and Drew actually talked about how winning the title from Brock, from WrestleMania last year, like it sucked because there was no fans. And the way he just, showing emotion how it sucked, and he's saying he can't wait for this year to have actual fans. I'm like, ooh, they might just give him the title so they can give him that moment.
Because it's usually like, we talk about this too, Devin, like this casual fans. That's what WrestleMania is for, casual fans. As much as we would love to, have it be for, the hardcore fans and have the smart booking happen there. Like, it's for casual fans. Bad Bunny is going to have a wrestling match at WrestleMania. Why?
But
because it's for casual fans.
I don't, it's funny because I don't really expect him to do much in terms of wrestling. He's going to do all this acrobatic gymnastics stuff in the match against The Miz. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, in a way, that kind of, underutilizes Damian Priest a little bit. Now, if they made the tag team match, it would be much better.
I'm a little surprised that right now they're advertising it as Bad Bunny versus The Miz 1-on-1. I'm actually shocked by that. And Damian Priest being in the background, like what?
Yeah,
this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, if they flip into a tag team match on Raw, then it would be much better.
That'd be the easiest way to fix it.
Because if Bad Bunny has a bad match, people will clown on him.
Oh, they're gonna go so hard.
People will.
They're gonna go so hard.
They're going to absolute clout all over this dude.
Well, already the man, he gave up his 24/7 title. He's like, man, I'll trade it in for a Stone Cold Steve Austin lunchbox. Sure, man. I got respect for the business. Here you go, Truth. Now he's supposed to wrestle The Miz? What? Really? This guy? Look, say what you want about The Miz, but the man is two-time Grand Slam champion. He cannot go in there and lose. Like, Bad Bunny can't beat The Miz. He can't. One-on-one, it cannot happen. You got to get Damian Priest involved and let him do some work and help the bunny out. Man.
Yeah.
So exactly.
Man.
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, night one, you brought up Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, being the main event, and we talked about that, already. Actually, that was one of the things that we said, that hey, having them be the main event of one of the nights, and it makes sense. Like, Roman Reigns, and Edge, and now Daniel Bryan, that being the night two main event
in there now.
It's hey man, you can kind of see this coming the way they were booking this.
Yeah,
but having them be the night two one, but the night one main event, Sasha and Bianca, that is truly special. So I love the fact that they're doing that. And I guess just to ask you, like, who do who do you see going over in that matchup?
As predictable as it is, I clearly see Bianca winning, unless WWE pulls some shenanigans and have Sasha retain that Mania. Because it's ironic, because Sasha's never won a match at Mania.
Nope.
0-5.
Right. Which that's an interesting thing that I'm gonna have to really look at and see, because Sasha is one of my favorite wrestlers, like period, and definitely my favorite female wrestler. And I would hate for her to go through her career. I mean, she's gonna have more WrestleMania, so she'll still have other opportunities. But this seems to be a year where they're trying to right a lot of the wrongs that they had with her character. You know, not having her ever successfully defend a title
that was atrocious.
Yeah, I was just never a fan of that.
That was atrocious. Her show's title run, like, I think she won it at SummerSlam one year, and then the following week she drops it on Raw.
Yeah, well, for Sasha, it was actually always the other way around. She would win it on Raw, but then any pay-per-view she was at, she would lose it immediately. And I'm just like what? Come on, man! Like, you're just not making her look good. So finally having her, hold on to the title for this length of time has been cool. Yeah. But man, that would be a swerve that I would be okay with if Sasha ended up retaining. It would suck for Bianca Belair to lose that match, but I don't know. I'm kind of okay with the idea of Sasha, like, the vet beating the quote-unquote rookie, as she keeps putting the storyline, like placing the storyline. It's going to be interesting to see, but I think we win either way.
By Sasha winning by heel tactics. Maybe using, Reggie. You know what I'm saying? Because he has
Reggie's out of that story, man. I don't
know. No. Shania and their lapdog Reginald add nothing to the story. That's why the bill has not been that good, because of those three elements that really had nothing to the story. This bill should have started immediately after the Rumble. Because WWE used to do this so good back in the day. When somebody won the Rumble, that bill start immediately. That falling out on Raw.
Yeah,
but that's when they start adding pay-per-views in the middle. On the way to WrestleMania.
Man, that kind of,
I think that's part of the problem.
I'm like, oh, man.
Now it kind of watered the build-up heading towards WrestleMania now.
Yep, that's part of the problem. Yeah, too many pay-per-views in between, yep.
Yeah, I saw the little clip of, Bianca, man, when she slapped Sasha's shoulder slapped like crazy. And then after Bianca won, here's it, Sasha in the backstabber. Yeah, you want to mess with me? This is what you gonna get.
I'm digging it, man. I'm digging it.
I'm like, finally, they're building something. Finally.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you that this build could have been better. It definitely could have been stronger just to go straight into it, But the fact that we're getting this matchup, the positives of it for me kind of overwhelm the negative in this, and I can't wait, man. I'm so looking forward to this matchup.
Because this match does have historical significance in this.
It holds a lot of weight.
100%, man. It's like
these women are going to go out there and absolutely killing the night one.
Yes.
This is the biggest match of Bianca Belair's career.
For both of them,
easily.
But even Sasha,
I think for both of them, it's the biggest.
Because
and I think if this is
if this is main event night one, man, I'd be so happy, man.
Yeah. No, I agree. They just need to
possibly
do it right.
Steal the show too. That'd be great. Cherry on top for me.
Yeah, Drew and Bobby, it's cool, but I'm more into the idea of like, hey, let's do this right. Sasha and Bianca, main event, night one, give it to them, because the other one feels a little bit more like we said. It seems like they're trending towards Drew, which kind of feels unfortunate, but it is what it is. But, the Bianca and Sasha matchup, anything could happen. Either one of them could win, and it feels like you said, the historical impact of this, you make that the main event, man. Like, just Vince, do the right thing. Do the right thing.
Yeah, because Vince has made bad booking decisions for many years now. If he does this one, oh my God, the backlash will be immense.
Yeah, no, totally, man, totally. Do you keep up with AEW as well?
I saw the Britt Baker Thunder Rosa 2 match, and boy, that match was fire.
Yes.
Oh my God, they went all out. They was just trying to absolutely kill each other. Man, Britt Baker said she took 87 bump taps to the
That bump was crazy though, man.
Man, that was sick.
Oh my God, yes.
Wow.
That was sick, man. That bump was absolutely sick, man. Oh,
yeah.
I said after I saw the match, this is the best women's wrestling match of the year.
Man.
And as much as I am happy for the Bianca Sasha match coming off, I don't see that match topping it. I don't see Io and Raquel topping it. I don't see no other women's match topping it this year.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
the brutality of it.
The brutality,
and then the story between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker too. Like these are like two pet bulls that they don't like each other, fight for territory. Like, no, this is my division. I run it, and you know what I'm saying. That's what Thunder Rosa is saying. But Britt Baker like, no, this is my division too. So this is just the story of that. And then it's crazy.
And then I saw Britt Baker's promo the other day, and man, that was fire. She said, Mick Foley, face for the thumbs up. It took you 12 years to become a hardcore legend. Well, it took me one night.
That was good. That promo was sick. Yeah, I love that.
I was like,
burn. Man, hey, let's be honest. Most women wrestlers today would not even agree to take 87 bump taps in the back.
Yeah, we don't. Well, so like we haven't seen it, you know. Like,
but let's be honest,
we don't know who's down to even do that, right?
That's the thing. Like maybe
I can believe Sasha could be down because I could see her get down like that.
Yeah, I could see like Rhea Ripley, Raquel Gonzalez, like those two. And I was thinking when you said like the best women's match of the year, like that matchup, Rhea and Raquel is the one that kind of that pops up in my head, and like, ooh, that one feels like. If I were to try to put one up against it from the NXT side, that one's kind of close. I mean, there was no blood, you know, like we didn't have the thumbtacks, but it was physical. Like those two just destroyed each other.
And today in today's WWE, you know, you can't have a little blood, but you can have Randy Orton spitting up black crap on Raw. Man, I was like, oh my God, this is awful.
I can't even with Randy right now. I can't even. That whole storyline, man, I can't even do it.
Man, I looked at the clip. The build has been awful. Oh, and then Randy Orton committing a felony at TLC burning the funeral.
Yeah, the dude should be in jail still. He should be in jail.
But let's be honest. Let's be honest. In wrestling, you can get away with stuff like burning a man on fire, running over someone with a golf cart. But if you do that outside wrestling, that's a felony.
Yes. Kids know you cannot do that. You will go to jail. So do not. Yeah,
that's why WWE.
No. That's what it is, man. Oh my God.
WWE used to have those little ads back in the day say, please, kids, don't try this at home.
Yep.
Bring that back.
Yeah. Because you had a lot of backyard wrestling going on, and they was trying to, like, stop some of that. So they started do not try this at home.
We were getting sued out here, man. We got to stop this. Seriously.
And I expect WWE to commit another felony at WrestleMania, man.
Man.
Randy and the Fiend.
Dude, you think Randy gets burned alive somehow, some way in like a cinematic match? Just to say, eye for an eye, man. You burn me, I burn you. You know, like, I mean, at this point.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
That would be overkill, man.
It would be, but I can't even put it against them.
They couldn't do that. They some type of CGI, bad CGI. I don't know how. Type of money
loves
they get.
That stuff. He loves it.
Because when we saw the Fiend get burned with that CGI, that was a CGI version of the Fiend. That wasn't the actual one. Vince sitting in the back thinking, "Oh, such good shit."
Damn puppet getting burned alive, man. Clearly you can see it was not him anymore.
Because the stomach was gone. The stomach was out here.
It's fine.
You know, and all
it
of a
was
sudden the
gone.
stomach goes flat.
I just laughed the whole time. They want us to be terrified. I'm sitting here laughing, man. Like, oh my God. Look at that. Look at it. Look at
it. It was just absolutely goofy, man.
It was, man. It was.
It wasn't as terrifying as WWE tried to make it out to be.
Right. Like, come on, man. But yeah, So yeah, it's the cinematic matches. What do you think of that? Because last year we had, the what was it called? The graveyard match,
boneyard match.
The boneyard
match. Thank you.
Yeah.
We had the Fiend and John Cena. Like, do you see that working at this WrestleMania? Because they're gonna have crowds there, and we talked about that a little bit too. But them potentially doing this Randy Orton Fiend match with a crowd there, but doing it cinematically. Like, how do you see that working? Do you think they should do that? Where you at with that?
Cinematic matches were only meant for no crowds last year,
right?
But since the fans are actually coming back, it should be like a straight up one-on-one match between those two.
Right.
No cinematic match or nothing. Cinematic match in front of real fans, it's not going to work.
Yeah, because I can't imagine, like just sitting there. Like, I bought a ticket to go see all these guys in person. Yeah. And then you're going to show me on the Tron a movie that I could have watched from home. No, I'm upset. If I'm there and I paid that ticket, I'm upset. I could have stayed home and got a better view of this screen, and been comfortable. Like, just
based on the card right now, it doesn't look like they put like a Firefly stipulation on it. It looks like it's just a regular match. So maybe it's just
it's just a regular match
in front of a live crowd. At least
no more of that Thunderdome. Digital crowd stuff.
So you're not a fan of that? Let's talk about that, man.
It was nauseating to watch. To see all those digital faces doing all this. Oh, come on, man.
I mean, okay, so I hear what you're saying about the digital faces, and it kind of is weird because they're not reacting like right when things are happening. Sometimes it's like the timing is off sometimes. So I do have an issue with that. The biggest thing for me with all this is, and Devin coined it perfectly, the 2K crowd noise that they use during the matches, like that fake piped in crowd noise.
Oh man, I hate those.
It's just it bothers me. It kind of
I hate those.
There's times where I'm able to tune it out. But then there's times where, like even on this last SmackDown, it was interesting because they were chanting to Roman, "You tapped out, you tapped out." I'm like, so Roman, you should take this as disrespect because Vince is in the back telling the production truck to tell him he tapped out.
Shut the crowd noise down. Shut it down.
I would have been. That's what
Paul,
I would've done.
tell him to shut the crowd noise down.
If I'm Roman, hey, Paul.
But when
Paul,
Roman, but when Roman walks in front of real fans in 2 weeks, he's going to hit it for real this time. This ain't the 2K fake crowd noise they pumped up for months.
Right.
This will be real chance of you tapped out.
Do you think they're going to cheer him at all? Like, do you think he's going to be the cool heel, or do you think it's going to be actual heat and people are going to be like booing him?
He'll probably get some cheers, but he'll get mostly boos.
Yeah, mostly boos. Okay.
No.
What do you think, Devin?
You know what? I think my tribal chief hit a take. He's gonna get cheered on, man. He's the tribal chief. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know if he tapped. It was like a little bit of a movement.
Oh
right
no,
there. We don't even know, man.
Don't do that. He tapped.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Ref wasn't even there. We don't know.
It was on camera. They had it perfectly framed.
Like he was trying to try to readjust it. Maybe his hand was slipping a little bit. We don't know, man. Trying to break up. We don't know.
Oh man. They were clowning him for that, man. Daniel Bryan just couldn't shut up about it. Michael Cole, Corey Graves, like, hey man, made God bleed, and made him tap. I said, this is the story now, man. It's done. It's done. Tapped out. But it's okay. That's okay though.
But now that Daniel Bryan's weasel his way into the match, now we got the triple threat match in Mania. Edge versus Roman versus
And I understand
Daniel
Edge's frustration because I would be pissed too. Like, bro,
I do not understand. No, I don't understand it. I actually don't understand Edge's frustration. Why is Edge so afraid of Daniel Bryan? Why? Edge just comes off looking terrified of Daniel Bryan right now.
Edge did not want Daniel Bryan in this match because it should be him and Roman. Now that Edge is turned full on heel, which he's best at.
I love that.
Version of Edge is the heel.
Rated R superstar.
Yes. Rated R superstar was fire, man. I love that heel version of Edge.
I just don't understand that, Edge has been mad since before Daniel Bryan got himself into the triple threat. Like, he didn't even want Daniel Bryan going against Roman Reigns one-on-one at Fastlane. That's where I'm kind of like, why do you care? You're going to fight the winner anyway. If he would have just kept it clean when he got hit with the chair, if he just wouldn't have hit Daniel Bryan with the chair, let the match finish, Daniel Bryan's making Roman Reigns tap, he could have been fighting Daniel Bryan one-on-one at WrestleMania. Yeah. But he hit him with the chair. He got all pissed off. And now, Pierce is like, well, you guys, he tells the truth. He got a point. You got a point. Everyone's got a point. Man. I'm throwing you all in the match. Like, you can see that coming. So I don't know, man. Yeah. I think that the smartest thing they could have done, and Devin, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I brought this up. I was like, is Edge turning heel? Because 2 weeks ago when he started saying this stuff about Daniel Bryan, I'm like, man, this feels like Edge is subtly turning heel here with how afraid he seems of Daniel Bryan even just sniffing the Universal Championship opportunity. So I think it's smart. Have Edge turn heel. And this way, hey, anything can happen now. Like, all bets are off on this matchup. Like, Edge could still win this matchup because I thought Edge was going to win against Roman Reigns. So I think Edge could still win. Roman could end up victorious over both of them. Or you get the babyface Daniel Bryan coming out on top with the crowd having the yes chants. We say faces usually win. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm actually really hyped about this matchup.
Yeah, because this is in front of real fans, and there's going to be some cutout fans in between, by the way.
Oh, there's cutouts in between like they do in the basketball games?
Yeah.
Okay. Or like they did for the Super Bowl, too. Remember the cutouts mixed in with the crowd? So I think that's what they're going to do.
Okay.
I think they're going to.
And I think they're going to. And I think they're upping the attendance, too, because I believe the Super Bowl crowd was around 25, 27, and I believe that's why that we had a delay in the ticket sales, because I believe they can up the attendance now to around 40,000 fans, I want to say.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I think like 40,000 one night, 40,000 the second night.
Yeah, there we go.
Dang, man. That's
So
we get about 45,000 fans, bro.
That's good.
I'll be straight.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, man, I can't wait for that. Just the excitement for that, from that crowd to be there chanting and just finally responding, seeing like, how do people actually think of what's going on? Because right now, we usually get a good sense of how, generally people are accepting certain storylines from the crowd reaction. Right now, we're kind of, getting force-fed, the piped-in crowd noise. So, all the faces are getting cheered, all the heels are getting booed. But when we get that actual crowd, it's going to be really interesting.
I think everybody's going to get cheered,
authentic.
Bro. I think everybody, because this is like the first live show in over a year since the pandemic. So I think just for the excitement, everybody's going to get cheered just to be there. Everybody coming out. Doesn't matter you a heel or a face. You're on high in the card. You're on the low in the card. It doesn't matter. It's just to be excitement, just to see there.
I don't think so. Okay, so in the beginning, I see like maybe the first match for sure. There's going to be a lot of excitement in that. But as we go along, and as like that first match starts to go through its motions, and people start to cheering and booing for whoever they like in that match, I think then we're going to start to normalize and get to the point where, hey, if I genuinely like you, I'm going to cheer. But if I actually am kind of irritated with your character and I want you to lose, I don't care if you're a heel or a face, I'm booing. Like that I think we're gonna get that at WrestleMania, but we'll see. That's part of the fun of this too, as we get to find this out.
Yeah. The biggest story heading into WrestleMania First 7 is the actual fans coming back.
Yeah.
That is the biggest story.
That is, man. That is just kicking this off, and I wonder. So, is there any word on after WrestleMania, if this is like setting the precedent for now, we're going to have like kind of this limited fan presence at WWE shows going forward? Because I would love to hear that they're saying, like based off of this, we figured it out. We got the health protocols all in order. So let's go ahead and
some type of trickle down effect.
Yeah, and keep it in Florida maybe, but for a while, but still have fans.
Yeah, there's a chance that it's going to happen after Mania.
Yeah. I'm hoping so, man. Wow.
Yeah, because, hey, being in the Thunderdome, definitely rough.
Oh, man.
Watching the Thunderdome shows is rough.
I got to be real, man. It's not that bad because I treat it as, I guess, white noise right now. I'm at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
like
most of the time for me,
yeah. Only time it gets annoying when I'm like, all right, they got this pipe noise a little bit too high. They need to turn that shit down so I can hear
For example,
the wrestlers what they're trying to say in their promo.
I saw the clip Apollo Crews versus Big E last night, and Apollo Crews did a move that Kurt Angle was famous for.
Yeah.
And I was surprised that the best Olympic slam of any wrestler in the modern era. And I was like, wow. And then the crowd pulled Apollo Crews, this fake crowd noise, y'all.
Oh, hell no.
Oh man, yeah. See, stuff like that. I feel like Apollo Crews' turn. You know, some people will be cheering him honestly, just because they like heels. Certain heels will just get over.
Yeah, because Apollo Crews, for 5 years, he didn't have much of a character or personality. But now, with this, he was born. Now with this new character and personality, oh yeah, this guy is finally hitting his stride. Mm-hmm. Hit Big E with the Olympic slam and pinned him clean.
Man, he balled his ass up. Just
yeah, hey, yeah.
I was like, oh, can't be having that on the road to WrestleMania, Big E. Not like that, my guy. That's a bad look. You come out all this passion. What you got? What you got? You come out there and get balled up like that by Apollo.
That's what I got.
He was like, Big E, you finna take this Olympic slam, eat this pin, you bastard. You finna eat this pin.
Eat this pin. As I show you the steel. Oh man, it's fun. It's fun, man. This is Devin. You got any other questions? We just sit here like flowing, man.
I know. You know what? Let's talk about Blurs Online, man. Your writing background a little bit, man. So how'd you get into writing?
At first, when I started writing, I didn't take it seriously, but as I got a little older, I started to take it more seriously, and it was like around this month, like in 2018, I started writing for Blurs Online after I reached out to the guy who actually runs the site. I was like, hey, I would like to write some articles for Blurs Online. He was like, hey, send me an article. I'll see how much I like it. I saw him the article. He liked it, and the rest is history.
Oh, man.
Damn, that's awesome.
That's awesome. Well, so what was the first article you wrote for Blurs Online?
Man,
what was that about?
the first 2 years that I wrote articles on Blurs Online about wrestling, it was mostly constructive criticism of WWE because of the things that they were doing that pissed me off. Like booking Bobby Lashley badly, the sister segment, the dog food stuff. Yeah, and then having this guy walk out in a big dog costume. It's such good shit. Man, stuff like that kind of pissed me off. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's it's cool. It's cool that you're doing the writing and all that. Like I have a special place in my heart for writing in general. So just I can just listening to you talking about it. I'm just like, man, like this is really cool. Like hearing you talk about like just writing the reviews and everything. I mean, I guess in terms of the criticism for WWE, like with the recent events, does it kind of? I mean, I guess nothing would truly like makes up for it, but does it just kind of like make you think like they're going down the right path and they're truly changing? Do you feel hopeful, or do you feel like, okay, this is just a moment in time where they're kind of just capitalizing on basically what's going on in the bigger picture of the world with everybody? It seems like there is this awareness and people are trying to show their awareness, and really be out with it. Do you think they're just doing this now because they're trying to catch that momentum, or do you think this is actual change?
I think they're doing. I think there's a part of me that feels like they're doing it just because, but at the same time, they're making in some capacity certain steps needed to get the actual fans back into the arena instead of actually rushing it. They could have had real fans back in the arena, like let's say back in August, but they chose to hold on. They decided that WrestleMania 37 would bring them back, and I was like, okay, this is a good decision. Yeah. Because you certainly don't want to see these digital fans at WrestleMania 37.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hearing that real crowd at WrestleMania 37 will be so special, man.
Yeah. Definitely.
Like because some of the biggest moments in wrestling history have happened at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah,
yes,
absolutely. Yes. Yeah, WrestleMania, man, those iconic moments.
Yeah, it is like the Super Bowl of professional wrestling. It's bigger than Double or Nothing. It's bigger than any other event that any other promotion has.
Yeah, like WCW.
This is it.
back in the day, you know, like Starrcade, I used to think of as like their kind of big show.
Yeah.
And, you know, AEW doesn't really, I mean, I guess Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing is actually their biggest.
All out.
Double or Nothing is their biggest event of the year.
Yeah. But it's not.
Yeah, but with WrestleMania, I saw a WrestleMania match today. The dream match that I wanted to see, Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels. And that was a phenomenal, beautiful, technical masterpiece.
Yeah, man. Dude.
And then Kurt Angle talked about on his podcast. He said Shawn told him that he'll put him over because he wanted Kurt to look strong for the upcoming feud with Batista, which unfortunately never happened. Yeah.
I mean, at that time too, it made sense because you could feel like Shawn was kind of at towards the end of his career, and Kurt Angle, you know, there was no sense of like, oh, he was gonna, you know, be done a couple years later too. But
man,
so
towards the end of that match was crazy. Man, Shawn tried to escape the ankle lock, but he just couldn't, man. He tried everything.
He sat down on it. Kurt sat down on it.
Yeah, man, like that was actually Shawn's best match ever until WrestleMania 25. That match with Undertaker at WrestleMania 25 supersedes all of his other matches at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
man, I saw that match too. It was crazy.
Well, what's crazy about Shawn and Undertaker for me, when you say that, I feel like part of it is because they just had such a long history. Like they had just been going at it for years. Like that match wasn't just, you know, WrestleMania 25. It was literally like all the other moments and matches that led up to that. I mean, I just think of like the Hell in a Cell match, the first ever. No, was it the first ever Hell in a Cell with Shawn and Taker?
In Your House, Bad Blood 97, where Kane debuted.
Yeah. So
because here's the thing about Kane. He was initially going to be called Kane the Undertaker, but they scrapped it and they decided to save the name Kane for Glenn Jacobs, as we know today.
Yeah, man. It's just that feud, that the years of buildup. I love stories like that, feuds like that, where, you know, they have this long-standing rivalry, and you put together the video packages of like their years of going at it against each other. I mean, it's just like, you know, Stone Cold and The Rock, you know, had that too, where for years these guys would go at it, and they had that history, and then leading up to like Stone Cold's last match against The Rock, it was just like, oh my God, like it's perfect because Rock had never beaten Stone Cold at WrestleMania before, and then all the ups and downs, and then battling over the title, and then Rock to be the one to basically retire him is similar to like Undertaker and Shawn, you know, and just that being it, saying, you know what, like now I'm gonna be the guy that puts you away. So.
Man, Shawn, but WWE ruined Shawn retirement by having him come back for that atrocious match at Crown Jewel.
Oh yeah, like
man, it was absolutely atrocious. Yeah, it was for the money.
You know, everybody knew it was for the money. That's what's kind of has a stain on it. That's why, because we knew what it was. It was for the money, man.
When I read the news, I was like, oh my God, Shawn's doing this. Oh no. Yeah. Man, this is going to kill his retirement right here. It killed it.
Yeah, because now, I mean, you know, what's funny is we talked about Fastlane being filler. For me, all of those events that they do, the Saudi shows and all that, that's filler to me. That is filler. I don't count it. The only one that I'm forced to count is the one where The Fiend beat Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship because a title changed hands. Well, and also Goldberg, when Goldberg beat the Fiend too. Yeah, so that's another one. So I'm forced to count those individual matches. But those shows on a whole, I don't know. No.
They're just pure filler, man. Filler. Unnecessary filler events.
Exactly. So
and WWE should cut down the number of pay-per-views by cutting out all that filler, man, like Filler Lane and the Saudi show.
Seriously, if you like sometimes less is more, you know, and just to not have as many pay-per-views, why not? Like, what's the harm in taking out some of these pay-per-views, because it's not doing them any favors as far as story building.
Even the themed pay-per-views like Hell in a Cell and Elimination Chamber and TLC, unfortunately, have lost their luster, man. Those matches used to be so special back in the day when they're done like once a year.
Yep.
But now with the pay-per-view name, it kind of takes away from all that.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. They should less is more. Less is more with that, man. Dang, man. Hey, Kwame, man, this has been a blast, man. We're just at time, but we just want to thank you so much for being a part of this episode. Before we go, we want to give you a chance to just deliver some shout outs. You know, you can talk a little bit about Blurs Online, where people can find you, follow you, and all that, man. So without further ado, the floor is yours, man. Tell the people where they can catch you.
Well, they can, catch me on Instagram.com/, Kwame Shakir 90. And, and I would like to give a shout out to, not just y'all, but to, the brother Derek Gamble over there at Rap and Wrestle. Yeah. Give a shout out to all the, black podcasters out there, wrestling podcasters that are doing their thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. Thank you for that.
We just had him on the show, too, man. Big shout out to him.
Good dude, man. Good dude.
Yeah, real good dude.
Yeah, man. All right, man. Devin, without further ado, floor is yours now, man.
Yes.
Tell the people where they can catch us.
Yes. I know it's been a couple of weeks, but let's see if I still got the
still
flow
got
a little bit. I don't know. All right, man. Let's see.
We believe in you. You got it.
Yeah. We got a whole bunch of social platforms about to go down the list. I will start with Facebook. We got Facebook. We have an awesome Facebook group called Clark Street Wrestling Community 2 as well. I think we're at 130 members, looking to get to 200 by WrestleMania, which is in about a couple weeks by my timetable. So, all right, so we got our work cut out, but hey, you find that website, find it on Facebook, hit that join. We got you. We'll embrace you with open arms. And cannot forget about Instagram as well, Twitter, and TikTok.
TikTok.
Yes. And big shout out to our Twitter page. We just hit 600 followers, by the way.
Ooh, wow.
Yes. Okay. Nice.
Hell yeah. Just hit that throreshold, awesome. So appreciate that. That wasn't even a goal. We just been growing. So people who's been following us, we've been networking with other podcasts, growing that way as well. So appreciate that. And big shout out to all the other podcasts who've been retweeting our pages, our tweets out there as well. So big thank you as well. And I cannot forget about that one stop and shop. It's only one website, ClarkStreetWrestling.com, ST for the abbreviation. Yes, where we have all of our episodes linked to our YouTube page as well. So people, thank you for making the visual. And I think we just lost Kwame. We'll be able to get him back. That's all right. We're towards the end, so we'll hopefully be able to come back by the time this is finished. But like I said, the website, ClarkStreetWrestling.com, ST for the abbreviation. And I can't forget about our merch as well. Be able to find our merch on our website, ClarkStreetWrestling.com/store. And I can't forget about, my notebook, Handy Danny notebook.
Merch.
Yes. Notebook. I like to take all my notes. Got my tank right here. We got mugs. We got coffee cups. Yes. That's new.
Get your merch.
I like that. Get your merch.
I don't know. It's just kind of
get your merch.
Get your merch. Get your merch. Get your merch. Get your merch.
Get your merch. Yeah, man, that might be a new thing now.
Hey, man, maybe, man. Throw that in, just having some fun, man. It's all good.
I'm with that,
man. All right, so that is gonna do it for this episode. For Kwame Shakir, again, thank you so much, sir, for being with us. Devin, I'm Hafeez. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
All right, guys, thanks for listening to the Clark Street Wrestling Podcast.